Okay, and with that, welcome, an official welcome. We are just about to get started. Happy almost New Year, friends. I was just looking through the chat and just blown away by the amount of people coming from all over the world. We're at almost 200 people in the Zoom room. And I love hearing how this is some people's first time here and some people's fifth time. I know this is my sixth time doing this, and I started in 2020 during the pandemic, of course, and I never thought it would be the ritual that it has become. Literally one of my favorite things to do. I look forward to this every year, and it just really warms my heart to see everyone coming and connecting for this. So thanks for being here. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in because there's so much that I want to get into today. Give me one moment as I share my screen and I have to figure out which screen I am sharing. Okay, great. So once again, I'm going to ask you to give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen and hear me okay. Amazing. If that does change at any point, feel free to just let us know in the chat. Rasa, of course, is here to help and support. And welcome. Looking back and letting go. Wow, what a year. It feels sometimes like the year is like just racing into the end. And suddenly, when December 31st comes, feels always like a bit of a surprise. And it's a surprise until we get a chance to pause and be here. So, anyway, that being said, I'm going to introduce myself. Many of you may already know me, but in case you don't, hi, my name is Rukmini Podar. And I'm really on a mission to help people draw their feelings. And I've been in this work for the last 10 years. It started with me drawing and sharing my own feelings, and that has just taken on a life of its own. Since then, I've published a book called Draw Your Feelings and done lots of workshops, online, corporate workshops, retreats, international events. It's been really amazing, kind of mind-boggling, and just so grateful to do this work again and again. So I just want to share a little bit about my book, in case you don't know, or just to share because so much of my work comes from Draw Your Feelings. It's published in several different languages. The Spanish version came out last year, which is really exciting. And so much of what I do, the workshops, everything comes from it. So if you like this kind of work, if you want to dig deeper into it, just a thought, it could be a holiday gift. And Rasit, maybe you can post a link for the book just to get some more information about it, and about what is inside of it. Okay. That being said, also, we're literally turning the page of the year. And something I've also been doing every year since the pandemic is creating calendars. And so, cheers to 2026, the year of becoming. So, if you haven't already and you want a beautiful art calendar, this is something that I offer. I personally ship them, pack them, send them to everyone. So, it's a real labor of love, but it's something I really enjoy. This year they come in packs of two, so you can gift it to someone, and as well as a little mini print pack. And on the other side of the print pack is a habit tracker. So this is a whole little set that if you're interested, there'll be a link in the chat, but I really want to share it because this is again, one of my yearly rituals that I love to do, love to share with others, and a little bit about just the work that I do that comes in many different forms. Okay. So I'm giving a few different updates before we dive in, and this one is about the Creative Wilderness Retreat, which I was reflecting yesterday on my year and all the different things that I had done and experienced, and by far the highlight of my year this year and last year was this retreat, which was just incredible. We did it in Mendocino, California, Labor Day weekend. There might even be some folks who did that retreat who are on here, so shout out to you guys. And I wanted to share because a very special announcement I wanted to make is that next year I'm trying something different, taking a bit of a risk that I'm excited about and, a little nervous, but I've been invited to offer this retreat in the UK in this insanely gorgeous retreat venue. It's basically a castle 3 hours north of London. And it's happening this April. So the organizers have been super kind. They're giving an amazing discount, and the invitation was just too special to pass up. So I'm now extending that invitation to you. Anyone here who is in the UK, nearby, or, wouldn't mind traveling across the pond, Just a few photos of the space. I haven't even shared so much online, but I wanted to share just the venue, the spaciousness. It's very comfortable. And of course, the magic will still be there that we've created each year of putting our emotions on paper, of connecting with each other, building community. The price is also really phenomenal. 685 pounds for the full 3 night retreat with everything included. So it's pretty special and want to throw that out for anyone who's interested because Rasa will also share in the chat just more information as well as an inquiry form if you would like to get together in the new year and draw feelings together in this magical space. So that is a little shout out for all of you guys who are interested in that. Now, that being said, I'm moving through my announcements and I'm coming to really what is the most important, which is um, what we're all doing together. In doing this workshop, you're also helping to empower so many young girls in the villages of India and sponsor their education. So I've been doing this workshop as a fundraiser for a few years now. And I'm excited to say that every dollar that you have donated goes straight to these girls through a grassroots foundation that my parents actually run. So my whole life, I've seen my parents really involved in a lot of fundraising and a lot of initiatives like this. And so um, they are literally, my father lives in the village of Vrindavan, and so he's connected with the teachers and the tutors and, personally just oversees these incredible initiative to educate all of these young girls. So we have already raised, it says 1900, but 1500, which I think is amazing. And if there's anyone here who feels inspired to give, Rasa will just post my Venmo and my PayPal. Feel free to share whatever you like. $15 goes such a long way in India. It's absolutely incredible. So, again, $50 sponsors a village girl for an entire year, $100 sponsor maybe a high school student. And it's just the best feeling to be able to come together and to know that we're raising and making a huge difference. So again, I'm just going to put that into the chat. If anyone feels inspired to give whatever you like, whatever you can, just know it's going to go to a really special place. So anyway, that's a little announcement about what we're going to be doing here. Um, and thank you. That was a lot of information I put out there, and I hope you enjoyed the context behind why we're here, what we're doing. And now, with all of that, I invite you to come into a pause. And this pause is going to help us arrive here and drop into our hearts. So, wherever you're at, if you'd like to find a comfortable seat and feel your feet on the ground. Maybe lift up your spine. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And if you want to close your eyes or lower your gaze, you can do that and really connect to your breath and your body. You can place your right palm on your heart and your left on your belly. Take a deep inhale in and a slow exhale out. We'll do that one more time. Deep inhale in and a long exhale out. Allow yourself to arrive. We've all come from different contexts. We all lead such busy lives. Let that and leave that at the door and allow yourself to feel your body from the inside. Allow yourself to connect with your breath and notice your mind begin to find quiet. Notice your body coming into stillness. Maybe even feel your heartbeat. Maybe notice any other sensation, tightness into the shoulders, into the eyes. And we want to remember that our body holds so much information. We've come to the last day of the year. How much have we experienced this year? How much curiosity, how much excitement, how much fear, how much grief, how much joy. All of that is living in our body. And really, if you want to even press your hand towards your heart and just acknowledge the capacity of your body of holding these emotions. And if you like, you can take your hands and place them in a part of your body that is feeling grateful. And just connect with that for being here, for anyone in your life you're thinking about, for your experience. And now place your hand in a part of your body that's holding some anxiety, some worry, and just acknowledge that. Where is that in your body? Where are you holding that? Just connect, acknowledge those parts of you. And now place your hand in a part of your body that is holding some kind of grief, some heaviness, and just hold that and allow that to be. And finally, place your hand in a part of your body that is holding a sense of openness, curiosity, maybe some joy, and just connect with all these parts of yourselves, which are all welcome here in this next hour and a half. Hmm. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, come back into the space. And what we did in a few minutes is just get a little more embodied, a little more connected, because what we're doing, processing, doesn't happen all in the head. It happens in the heart, in the body. So thank you for taking a moment with me to connect. I'm going to read a beautiful poem, and you can just let the words of this poem wash over you. You can even close your eyes if you like again. Repeat again. Let your shoulders sink and relax. Unclench your jaw. Slowly close your eyes. Listen for your heartbeat. Really listen. Feel it in the pulse in your fingertips. Lessen your expectations. Underdo all your efforts. Requisition the time for your soul to catch up. Lean into the wind, feel it like a tree and test the ground. Learn to trust the resilience. It would be treason to move quickly, left or right, from this place. It is all right to be exactly what you are, who you are, where you are, right here, right now. And that is by Dane Anthony. I love this poem. It just gets us right into our being. Okay, so before we dive in, I like to set three sort of principles of our time here. And the first is full-hearted participation, which with this group I feel like won't be a problem, but really being here fully. So putting away anything that could distract you. You can turn on your camera if that helps you, and just allowing yourself to go fully in, give your 100% in this next hour and a half. The second is respecting each other's experiences, whatever that may be, especially in the chat, really just cheering all of us on because how many of us are here now? 239 have carried so much this year, and we're all here to honor the fullness of our experience. And finally, the willingness to experiment, explore, and try the beginner's mindset. In case you're here and you're feeling, oh, I do not draw. Oh, I'm sorry, Rukmini, but I have not picked up a crayon or a marker in years. And you're feeling some resistance. I just want to say, first of all, you are not alone. And second of all, wonderful. That beginner's mindset is what we want to tap into, that willingness to explore, be open, and see what can appear on the page. So thank you. And again, same thing, be a beginner, enjoy the process, and of course, practice being soft on yourself. We all carry that inner critic that kind of sits right here behind our ear, and you're allowed to take that inner critic and leave it at your doorside. It'll be there when you need it later. But especially when reflecting on on our year, it's very easy to allow the judgmental part of us to say we didn't do enough, didn't achieve enough. all of that can feel like a lot. So allow yourself to be soft. Allow yourself to be surprised by all the ways you've grown and learned this year. Okay, and a little note about what you need. Basics is fine. Paper, coloring, a journal, writing is all good. Pen, paper, the basics that you have, more than enough. So just a little note on that. Get yourself comfortable. Of course, the mindset is most important. So whatever you put into this process is what you're going to get out of it. Being as present as you can is really transformative. Okay, so now that we have really grounded successfully, I'm going to open up with one of my favorite questions or statements. What happens to you is not as important as what is happening inside of you. Wow. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time because it's kind of a revolutionary idea. What happens to you is not as important as what happens inside. So, everything that has happened this year, all your events, your experiences, it takes a back seat to what you are feeling inside. And that's what we want to process today. What is the story that you have lived? And that's how we're going to start with some quick journaling and writing. So for 2, 3 minutes, I want you to, what is it called? Free write. Just stream of consciousness write on any sheet of paper you have. What is the story you're telling yourself about your year? We think in stories. Everything is a story. It doesn't need to be based on logic or data, but just let that emotion pour out of you. We'll do 2 or 3 minutes. Don't censor yourself. No one else needs to read it. Just put it on the paper. See what comes up. I'm going to play music for a little bit and we will get started. We're going to do 1 more minute. So not too long, but enough to get something on the paper. Okay, and just begin to wrap up whatever you wrote. Again, this was just a quick way to get into the narrative. If you were to think of your story, your year as a story, what narrative immediately comes out? We're going to do a lot more of this, so don't worry. But next up, we're going to play a little bit of a game in the chat, a way to connect and share. So without overthinking it, I want you to let us know what is something that challenged you this year. If you want to write it privately in your notebook, you can do that. But if you want to post it in the chat, What is something that challenged you? Think about what came up for you. What was difficult? Yeah, so much. Wow. My relationships, burnout, mom's cancer, layoff, health, mental health, surgery, divorce, grief, anxiety, extreme anxiety, family, pain, dementia. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, politics, fear, numbness, heartbreak, losing our job, speaking up, loneliness, fertility, breakup, aging, confronting old patterns. Thank you, everyone who is sharing. It's really tender, actually, just to take a moment to read what has challenged us. It's been a lot. It's always tender to read and to be in our own struggle, and yet there's something kind of, I don't know, kind of beautiful about the human experience of just witnessing it. So just thank you for bearing witness to everyone, for sharing what has been challenging and for honoring that. And so much of what we're doing today is honoring both what has been beautiful, what has been painful, how can they coexist and live together. Thank you. For time's sake, I'm going to move to the next question. And just like there has been challenges, there's also been things that have gone better than expected. So take a moment. What has gone better than expected for you this year? Yeah, work, ongoing work for myself, relationships, financial independence, welcoming change, activism, art, finding a new swim group, marriage, starting in a new field, leaving my job, starting a new job, spiritual growth, movement. Wow, my 4-year-old starting pre-K, fitness, launching a new business, traveling. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. It's all happening at the same time. Challenges and joy. Thank you. This is a beautiful moment to just celebrate each other too. Seeing beautiful things, speaking up. Wonderful. Whatever it may be, even if it feels like there's nothing, let's just take a moment to honor that. So, now that we've just taken a moment to even dip our toes into our experience of last year, I want to introduce something called I'm like losing my momentum. Anyway, the color wheel, the emotional color wheel. Yes, done by a friend of mine. It's incredibly helpful because it helps us immediately connect with emotions that we might not have the vocabulary for. And so I'm going to offer this resource and invite you to take a moment on either your sketchbook or notebook and just begin to list down some important moments that you had. So you're going to have two columns. One is what happened, and the other is how you felt. So again, you can reference this chart if you like, or whatever comes up for you. So whatever moment felt important, it doesn't need to be necessarily big, but it could just feel important. And on the other side, how did you feel about it? So we're going to take 4 to 5 minutes, not too long, but enough to brainstorm. I need some water. I'll turn on some music and just dive into this. So we'll do 2 more minutes. Again, it doesn't have to be an extensive list of absolutely everything, but just feeling like what was important and what emotions came up. Okay, so slowly begin to write any last bits, last sentences before you begin to bring your pencils down. This was just a 5 minute warm up in some ways of kind of putting what's top of mind on the paper. What is it that felt important? What is it that we want to honor? What emotions came up? And maybe it was hard to even connect with any emotions at all. It's totally natural. The year can feel like a blur, and so it's hard to get specific. But what we're doing is we're taking what feels like a big tangled mess and we're slowly untangling it. And sometimes it doesn't quite make sense until later. But thank you for taking a moment to do that. I'd be curious if you want to share one or two words in the chat of how do you feel, even just taking 5 minutes to jot down some of these memories. What came up for you? Wow, I love that, Katie. Realizing how brave I was, courage, delighted and exhausted. Yeah, feeling a little clear, a little empowered, deep empathy. Yeah, it's amazing. Just a few minutes, what can help? So we're going to take this and see it as data of our year, and we're going to, of course, add to it much more. And with that, I'm going to introduce sort of why we're all here, the visual part. How do we now draw our year? Well, there is a way to translate the data of our year into visual language, and that's what I'm going to walk you through. So, are we ready to draw our emotional timeline? Give me a thumbs up, I don't know, let's show some energy in the chat. Let's get into this. Okay, awesome. So on the right-hand side, you see a lot of different timelines. And like I've shared earlier, I've done this for so many years now that I've seen probably thousands, and it's mind-blowing how each one is so different and so unique because we are all having our unique, different experiences. So we are going to take that data, turn it into a timeline, and this is going to allow us to use a different part of our brain. We're used to thinking linearly, we're used to writing charts and lists, but once we bring colors and lines and patterns, it's like, wow, a whole other part of our brain might open up and we can express our experience in a whole different way. So I'm going to first start off by just showing some examples of how you draw timelines. And this, I still don't know exactly who did it. Maybe they're even here right now, but I love this example because of the variety of emotions. So very simply, when you make your timeline, you have a y-axis and an x-axis, and you can even draw this on your paper now. And the x-axis is time from January to December. That is every month of the year. You can even do seasonally if you want, however you want to organize the time that this year passed. And on the y-axis is a spectrum of emotions. It could look like this, which has a whole different variety. It can look like all different kinds of things. Now, why I love the format of the timeline is that it allows you to see multiple emotions that you have felt at once. So, for example, June could feel a whole variety of different emotions. And so it allows us to really see the fullness of what we're experiencing. So I'm going to walk you through another way of doing it, which is perhaps every color represents a different area of life. So in this case, blue was my health or my emotions, my mental health. Green was my physical health. Yellow, red was my work, and so on. So you can also categorize that way by different categories of life and getting a snapshot of, wow, my physical health was down, but my work was up. What does that say? Again, more examples. They can all look so different. They can be abstract. They can be symbolic. I love how this shows maybe the time as seasons. I love how structured this is. Again, showing the spectrum of emotions going from quite happy at the top to sad. So it can be simple, however you want to make it. Um, I can just go on really and show so many, but I don't want to show too many because I want you to lean into your own unique expression of what comes up for you. Remember, there's no wrong or right way. It is really just your own process of how you want to draw that timeline. So, with that, let me know if there's any questions in the chat. Otherwise, what you're going to do is, and I'm going to stop sharing for a second and see everyone because, oh, there we go. Wonderful. So grab your sketchbook, your paper, whatever you have, draw that Y and X axis if you haven't already, and begin to simply attribute different colors for different emotions, map out what each month might have been. You might be thinking, oh my God, Rukmini, I can't remember that so clearly. That's okay. Do as best as you can. It's a very intuitive process. If anything, just have fun with the colors, play with them. You will be surprised the story it tells later. So if you're demanding or wanting it to make sense now, it might not, but later on, it might have a whole different story to tell you. So thumbs up if that sounds good, if you're ready. Okay, amazing. I'm going to turn on music. I'm going to do it with you and share it in my camera if that is supportive. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Feel free to continue. Don't want to disturb you, but I want to say that we'll do about 3, 4 minutes and I'll intro a second part of this exercise. But you can still continue on your timeline if you're really absorbed in it, if you're still just getting into it, continue as long as you want. But we'll do 3 minutes more and then I'll intro another part of this. And thank you for those who are sharing pictures of your timeline in the chat. It's actually incredible to see. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Please, again, continue if you're still very much in your timeline. I'm loving seeing all of these in the chat. Thanks for sharing. And everyone's process is different, so honor whatever shows up on your page. As you can see, each one can look completely different, and that's totally fine. Now, if you would like to do the second part, this is the letting go portion of this whole process. And this ritual of letting go is also so important as you reflect on your year, as you translate your year into colors and shapes. It's a beautiful exercise to think, what is it that you want to shed and let go of as you step into the new year? And give me 1 second to share my screen. Let's see if you can see it. Okay, can you see that, the screen? Perfect. Okay, so this is an image I drew some years back. I share it every year. I want to shed my layers of self-doubt. Oof, yes, I still want to do that, as well as many, many other layers. And I'm sure many of us as well want to release what is not us. And so I like to every so often create a list of what I want to let go of. And sometimes it's really personal and quite vulnerable and really cathartic. And I'm just going to read a few from my list in case you relate with what you want to shed. I want to shed my mountains of self-doubt, my self-sabotaging stories, my attachment to my self-criticism, my insatiable need for validation, my need to control, my conception of what is mine, my belief in my low self-worth, my self-centeredness, my insecurities of my body, my smallness, my dissatisfaction. I want to shed the walls around my heart that stop love from entering. There's a lot more to this, and sometimes I like to recite it as a poem, but just to give us something to think of, because can be really powerful to take a moment to think, what is it you want to let go of? And a list is perfectly fine, but I do find visualizing and drawing is Really powerful. So this is a image by a student of mine many years ago, and I love how she kind of drew them as these balloons that are just drifting into the air, and sometimes visualizing these things that can feel so hard and burdensome. It can be so helpful to just imagine them weightless and sort of falling away. So this is an invitation for you to draw what you want to let go of as these letting go balloons. Now, if balloons don't fully resonate, I've seen people do leaves, the leaves that they want to hold on to. I love the green leaves, and then the leaves they want to let go of. I think I have one more example. This one resonates, usually resonates the most for everyone. What you want to let go of and what you want to hold on to. So I love, this person she wrote, giving away my power, my limiting stories, my believing scarcity, the need to control the future, all fading away, letting that burden go. My goodness, how relieving. And holding on to as like these stable rocks. My dreaming big, my values, my wonder, my love of learning. So I'm going to just leave this up for a little bit if that's helpful. And again, you don't need to do this exercise, but if you want to on another sheet of paper, whatever, quickly, just draw out your letting go balloons and see what shows up for you. So I'll leave this on for a little bit on the screen, and I'm going to turn on the music and we'll just give it some more time. But we have another 15 to 20 minutes before we fully wrap it up for today. So give yourself that time to stay in the creative process, and we'll see you on the other side. everyone. So we're coming towards the last 5 minutes or so of creating before we begin to collectively wrap it up and reflect. So again, keep going. If you feel at all complete in your process, if you've done the letting go, if I always like to give the suggestion of writing a small letter to yourself. Anything you want to share to your past self, your 2025 self, whatever comes up for you. If you want to even caption your art with a phrase, a title, words have a real amazing way to ground what we have drawn and again connect to that sense of meaning. So I just want to give that invitation. If you want to write anything, leave it up to you. And in about 5 minutes, we'll come to a proper close as a group. And again, if you want to take a photo and share it into the chat, please do. It's beautiful. I'm also going to ask Rasa to share the Google form we create every year. So in addition to sharing it on the chat, if you want to put it in this Google form, that's an amazing way to share what you're creating with all of us. We like to create a little gallery of everyone's timelines and a way to really honor each other. So yeah, feel free to share that, Rasa. And someone's asking about the letter invitation. I won't say too much because I don't want to take away from the drawing part, but if you even want to say, dear, your name, your 2025 self, and whatever words that you wish that you had heard as comfort or compassion at some point during the year, if you want to step and embody that place of that wiser self of your own and write a letter back to yourself from that perspective. And again, it can be a phrase, it can be a few sentences. It's not really a place of thinking as it is just embodiment, stepping into that wiser self. What would you like to share back to yourself? So again, I won't say too much more, but see what comes up naturally. All right, we'll do a few more minutes. Okay, we're going to begin to come to a bit of a close. And again, you might still be very much in your process and your drawing. No worries. You can keep going even until well after this call is over. But just as for the sake of the group, I want to begin to conclude. And with that, I just want to again acknowledge some really just the variety and beauty and uniqueness of the timelines that are being shared in the chat. And again, knowing that each one is so unique. There's no good art or better art. Each one feels so honest and so real. So thank you. That is super special. Um, and now, as we begin to at least stepping into our conclusion, connect to a word or a phrase of how you feel after going through this exercise, after putting color and shape and form on your paper, as you begin to map out your year in such a unique way. What is coming up for you? And that word or phrase, put it into the chat. How are you feeling? That is the question of the day. Beautiful. Release, grateful, fullness, proud, perception shift, gathered, ease, aware, rebirth, free, surrender. Ah, they're just coming in like a ocean wave. Eternal, abundant, clear, tender, digestion. Understandably sad. Yeah. Peaceful, clarity, compassionate, like a big desert, or is it dessert? Contemplative, clean. Wow, I want you to just hold on to these words of how you're feeling. And again, just being the witness of your own experience. That is the most magical thing. Whether you have looked upon this year with pride and gratitude, or also with sadness and grief and tenderness, can you be the witness of your experience to hold all of it and honor everything that has come? Wow, thank you. And one thing that I always love to do towards the end is not just being the witness of our own art, but the witness of each other's art, because there is over 200 human beings on just the Zoom call, and that is amazing. And when I look at each one of these little squares, it reminds me that there is a whole human being with such a variety and of complexity and experience and grief and joy. And it's beautiful to empathize with all of us as going through one big human experience. So if you feel comfortable, I'll invite you to turn on your cameras if they aren't already on, and maybe share your drawing, whatever you came up with, and kind of place it in front of your screen. Beautiful. We'll just take a second to glance. Oh my God, wow. And if, yeah, just move your eyes slowly over the Zoom screens and take a moment to take in everyone's different story. Everyone's 2025 is right here on the page. Wow, so amazing. I'm just glancing through all these pages. Beautiful. Wow. So incredible. Honor each human being, honor their year. I often think that if we could just walk around with our timelines, and that's how we introduced ourselves, what a more compassionate and empathetic world it would be. Thank you. Now that is my favorite part of this workshop. Thank you all. We still have 7 minutes left, and I have some really important shares and announcements, so please don't leave yet. I want to thank you all for being here and just being here with your full hearts. I could see it, I could feel it, the sense of community, the sense of some of you doing this for the first time, for the fifth or sixth time. It is so special. I'm going to go ahead and share something really important like I do at the end of every session. I have some announcements. The first one Rasa already posted, but if you can share again, Rasa, because we don't want to lose some of these amazing images. We want to capture it all. We want to share it. There's a Google form where you can submit your emotional timeline. You can even write a few words of what it means for you. And that's something that we will share. Oh, this is a free write. Maybe I'll come back to this later of kind of capturing everything. And then again, a reminder of the book. No, you might be hearing some screaming babies in the background. I don't know if you that's life. A reminder of my book as well as my calendar. So if you came late or if you're interested in seeing some of my own products and offerings, Rasa will share some links, especially if you are looking for a holiday gift. Of course, the Creative Wilderness Retreat. Oh my goodness, I spoke about it earlier, but we are coming to the UK this spring. So for all of you here in the UK or around who are curious, let me know. There is a form that you can sign up and learn more information. Of course, donations. Thank you everyone who has given so much. Once again, I'll just post my PayPal and Venmo if you are at all interested in supporting. We've already raised over 1,500 and probably more for this fundraiser, and really every dollar goes so far. So it's a beautiful way to start and end the year. And then finally, I'm so excited to share that I'm starting my 6-week course called Drawing Through It. I launched it for the first time last year. I did it in the summer, tried it out, and it was amazing. And we're starting it again January 15th. So literally just put it all together. We're launching it today, and it is a 6-week journey, although we take 1 week break in January. Of every week is a different theme. And the purpose is to take our messy emotions, which often feel like that tangled image, and transform it into something meaningful, which is really what we all got a taste of today. Taking what feels so inexpressible, giving it shape and form and meaning. So imagine doing what we did today, but every week for 6 weeks and going on a journey with a group of others who are dedicated to doing the same thing. So again, these are the dates. It's every Thursday, and the time is 12 to 1:30 EST. So this time that you're joining now, that would be the same time. These are the 6 workshops. So every week, a different theme. We go through a whole journey, starting with grief, transition, awe, wonder, stepping into our fullest self and taking up space and expression. Someone asked about replay. Yes, there's replay, these resources, there's a whole course hub. So you'll get all the live workshops. We do something called the feelings book. So for 6 weeks, you'll be encouraged to keep your own sketchbook. And that becomes like a living testimony. So what a way to start the year with drawing out and being connected to your feelings. So again, this is Drawing Through It. You get replays, you get resources, all kinds of things. Very excited about it. It's, yeah, just look forward to being with you. This is a great way to stay connected for 6 weeks in the beginning of the year. So if you're interested, let me know. You can send me an email if you have any questions, but otherwise, this is sort of the next step, and would love to have you there if this calls to you. So with that, I think we will close here. I'll just stop sharing for a moment. Okay, wow, we did it, everyone. We came through towards the end. Thank you everyone so much. This was beautiful as always to spend with all of you. Thank you for drawing your year, and please do, if you take a photo even and share it on your Instagram, just tag me and would love to reshare. But other than that, I'm wishing you a beautiful, heartfelt, meaningful 2026. I hope that this allowed some healing, some reflection for all that we've gone through together this year, and we're really looking forward to staying connected next year. So thank you so much. I'm going to try something that I did not tell Russ yet, but it needs a little tech thing where we can unmute everyone at once and kind of have a collective goodbye. It kind of creates a sense of the door closing behind all of us. Can we do that, Russell? And we'll just wish everyone a happy new year.
Happy
Okay,
New Year.
everyone. So
Rock.
happy new year.
Bye.
New Year.
New Year.
New
Thank
Year.
you.
Bye. Thank
Happy New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Happy New
Year.
Year. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Love your fellow
Thank you.
humans.
Good
Thank
to
you,
hear everyone's
Roxy.
Happy
voices.
New Year.
Thank
Blessings,
you.
everyone.
Bye,
Yes.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
Bye. Take care, everyone. See you
Bye.
soon. All right. Bye bye.